Good evening, everybody.
I have to figure out how we're gonna look at the live chat.
We can.
Oh, well, that's all right. We can do it in a second.
What?
I know because people are watching it.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it.
Lost it now.
Oh, okay, so.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
I don't know what I'm doing.
We're saying hi, Digital Hammurabi.
Hi.
And we are coming to you live from
Colorado.
Yeah.
Which is the farthest west I think I've been. No, California.
You know, I wonder if
California
are those
more
lights
west?
too bright in the background? I can't tell.
If we turn them on, we can't see anything.
Ah,
is
well, this is true.
California more west than?
It is.
Okay, so no, it's not the furthest west I've ever been, but it's something. I've never been to Colorado before, so this is very exciting. Oliver is a little bit hyped up because what's the time? It's 5:44, so it's nearly a whole hour past his bedtime because of the time change. Oh, but he is wide awake, as you can see. So after we finish talking to you guys, I'm going to be putting him to bed, and he will be falling asleep and not screaming for hours and hours and hours.
But we wanted to come, and we won't do this for long, just for a couple of minutes.
Say hi.
I have to pull the live chat up. I think I got it.
So we are in Colorado for one of the big Assyriological conferences. It's called ASOR, the American School of Oriental Research. It's their annual meeting, and they have one every year, hence an annual meeting. Sorry, I've been traveling a long time. I'm a bit tired. And we are here specifically because I'm presenting a paper on Friday, which is very exciting because it's my first academic presentation.
That's right.
And I'm very excited, and I like my paper, and I think it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
It's about topic modeling and royal inscriptions and testing whether the genres that modern scholars use are actually map onto the vocabulary used in the royal inscriptions, and trying to see if that's maybe how the Mesopotamian people viewed them, or if we view them in a different way. That was a bit confusing. I'm sorry.
You know what you should do?
I'll be more coherent on Friday.
No, you know what we should do is you should record it, and
yes,
and maybe even like give commentary as you go, like, but do your presentation, and we'll put it up as a video. I think it's good because it really is good. It's very interesting. Did you write cuneiform on that helmet?
I did write cuneiform on that helmet. It says "U lib air," which is the closest I can get to Oliver in cuneiform. Hi, can you turn around? And on the back, I'm not going to read all that for you because that's a lot of cuneiform, but that is part of an incantation to get babies to sleep. This part of the incantation describes how the baby is keeping awake the household gods, which is quite appropriate.
It is quite appropriate.
So yes, I thought that as we're at an Assyriological conference, it needed a redecoration. So we have a cuneiform helmet.
So I guess one of the things that I thought it would be good to talk about is the importance of presenting, presenting your ideas to people that are in your field, that know the topic, that can critique you.
It's kind of a sanity check.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you have these great ideas, you work away at them, and once you're really engrossed in something, it makes all the sense in the world to you. And I had this when I was writing my paper. I had to send it to a couple of other people and say, is this sane? Is it completely ridiculous? But coming to a conference gives you that sanity check. It gives you feedback from people who know the field but may have a slightly different specialization than you, so have a different perspective on your research. It's really cool. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's good. So like I did this recently with the tire paper that I wrote as a response to Mike Winger. You know, before I sent it, like I'd done my research, and this is sort of a popular level paper. I wouldn't say in any way it's designed to be,
I even twerking.
I mean,
sorry.
It's okay. He's good. I actually say in the final paragraph, this paper isn't meant to be exhaustive in any way, to respond to some specific things. But even at that sort of popular level, I'm still making an argument, right? So I wanted to, and I feel like I did actually a lot of research on it. read a lot of secondary literature in the field. But I still wanted somebody to check it. So I sent it to Dr. Reed and said, look, just, take a look at this, critique it. And, he did. He had some things that he said, maybe you could talk about this a little bit, or maybe you could talk about that, which made the paper better. But, of course, in this sort of thing, sorry, I'm really bad at reading this side chat. Megan is not bad at it. But it's really important when you're making, something like a very serious, I guess, more serious argument and a more scholarly level argument, that you present this idea widely to people that are in the field. And it can be a nerve-wracking experience, right? It can be a nerve-wracking experience because, when you do this, obviously, there are 5 minutes at the end of your 15-minute talk, 20-minute talk, to essentially ask you questions and theoretically rip you to shreds.
Theoretically speaking.
Theoretically, so but that's so important because I can't tell you, people actually even close to me. Okay, I'll switch in a second with you. But people close to me, or even people that just interact with me, tell me all the time, oh, I've got this great new idea. I wrote, I sometimes I even wrote this very lengthy paper, and you read it and you say, it's like, I admire your dedication, but I know this topic, this isn't, you're missing some pretty critical things. And they come back with, no, I know what I'm talking about. And I say, eventually I have to say, you know what? Distill your 400-page paper into a 20-minute presentation, 15 pages or something, and go submit it to the Society of Biblical Literature, right? Or the ASOR conference, go put it in front of, don't trust me, just go put it in front of people that are in the field. Because I think people get this idea, and this happens, I see this happening on YouTube a lot, and I don't know many things at all really about evolution, but I see people coming up with all kinds of great ideas about evolution, these great arguments. And I just want to say, distill it into a 20-minute talk and go present it at a conference. See what happens. Because see, if you're right, you shouldn't be afraid to do that. You should be, let's go, let's do it. But it will tell you very quickly if the scholars in the field agree or disagree with you, and they will point out all the problems.
Exactly. So Akos Eris is saying, do people stay up late and have edgy and controversial debates or presentations at academic conferences?
Yeah, usually over whiskey.
Yeah, people get drunk. Not drunk. They get relaxed in the company of their peers and catch up and talk about all kinds of stuff. And sometimes the actual day presentations get quite controversial. The last time I was at a conference, there was a presentation on whether or not to translate looted artifacts, it was very polite, but there was a bit of, you could probably cut the tension with a knife, because that's a really difficult topic, and people get very polarized on it.
Indeed.
So yes, it does happen.
And you'll have people sometimes, really big names in the field, yelling at each other. The guy presents or the woman presents, and somebody out in the audience goes, wrong. That's pretty rare.
It's not how you want it to go at all, even a little bit.
So that's really all I had.
Yep. I don't have anything else. I need to go and get changed. The opening reception starts in an hour. And I look like I just got off a 4-hour flight.
Well, you did.
Because I did.
But,
and I have to say, Oliver did very well. There was no screaming on the flight. He slept through takeoff, which was amazing. I wish I could sleep through takeoff. But he was awake for most of the flight and wriggling. So when I come back, I will have biceps the size of Josh's because of holding wriggling babies. But he did very well, and he's going to go to sleep now. Aren't you? Yes. After he finishes looking at my engagement ring. Hi. But this is going to be lots of fun, and yes, I will. I need to ask some friends if anyone would be willing to film my presentation, but that is the plan. I have permission from the session organizer to film my presentation. So that is all good. I just need to find someone to hold the camera. Yes, it's very exciting. We'll be back on Sunday.
Baby gains.
Yes. We'll be back at home on Sunday. We have a video set to go up on Friday. And then we've got one of my sexual metaphors going up on Friday. And then on the weekend, I've set the next Soothing Stories video to go up. So we're not there, but the internet is taken care of, at least until Sunday. So thank you for coming. This was...
And before we close out, before we close out, I just want to, in case you didn't see it, in Skylar's debate with Mike Winger, Mike made the comment that I was keeping the paper secret, and from his perspective, I totally understand that.
It was not. It wasn't intended to be
definitely
a secret.
not. It was supposed to be some kind of fun
Patreon treat for our
thing.
Patreons, because we don't do an awful lot for them, if we're honest.
So I went on and said, well,
I like that we're the kind of people that think giving them an academic paper is a treat. That's
of course.
I mean, it was a good paper.
It's a fun topic.
It is. It is.
If you haven't read it yet, even I think even if you become a $1 Patreon, you can get access to it. But Mike became a $10 Patreon, which was really sweet of him.
It was very nice, because he could have got it for $1.
Yeah. But so now he has access to this paper that I've written specifically to refute him. And I'm actually this weird mix of nervous and excited, right? Because nervous, we can all be wrong, right? We all can be wrong. I don't think that I am. I think I've researched this thing very well. But this is just how life goes. So I'm excited to see his response to it, if he wants to give a response to it. He doesn't have to, obviously. But I'm excited. I'm assuming that he's going to show it to some people that are in the know over there, which is great, because, as much as I hate the idea or the possibility of being wrong or being corrected on something, is how we get closer to the truth, right? I don't think that I am, primarily because my view is extraordinarily mainstream. So I would be very, very surprised. So anyway, so I'm excited to have somebody critique it and respond to it, and to respond to their response. It's
Tim just gave us $2.
Oh, thank you,
Tim. That's awesome.
Oh, by the way, we can probably talk about this later, but just because I'll forget if we don't. We were talking about this on the way over here. So the way that we do this, and we're going to put up like a financial transparency thing, but the way that we do this, all the money that comes in on Patreon and straight by PayPal, is that right?
Yep.
All that goes to the scholarship. Any money that we make on Super Chats, unless you specifically tell us we want this to go to the fund, the scholarship fund, the ad revenue and Patreons, we keep and we use for, that's the money that we go to buy like a new mic or something like that. The reason that we do that way is because YouTube takes such a big cut of the Super Chats. And ad revenue doesn't seem, we're not all that popular, I guess, yet, but ad revenue.
We've had $16 of ad revenue, though.
Wow.
Since we got monetized, which is
that's
more
great.
than I expected. $5 of it comes from his Sumerian grammar videos.
That's crazy, which is awesome. But, I think YouTube takes 30%. And what we wanted to do, and that's why I wanted to say this, if you want to donate to the scholarship fund, I want as much of your money as possible to go toward the scholarship. So if you're trying to donate to the scholarship through the Super Chat, YouTube's taking 30% of it. So I think it's better.
Yeah, if you have a one-time payment for the scholarship, send it through PayPal, because more of the money can go to the thing. So we have a couple of Yummy Zuki says, if only I had actual money to become a Patreon. Really, just having you in the chat and reading your comments is incredibly valuable to us.
Yeah.
I don't want, no one at all ever should feel obligated or guilty or bad. Or we do this because we love doing it. If we get money for it, great. If we don't, also great.
And it looks like, I spoke with Aaron today a little bit, and it looks like we're going to go on Tuesday to do like the response video or interview, or I think it's going to be a response interview to Mike Winger's 2 video response to Aaron's video, Unfulfilling Prophecy. So that's supposed to happen. It looks like it's supposed to happen on Tuesday. I suspect what will happen is once that's done, because I really want to leave the first shot out of the box for him. I want him to have that on his channel. After that, I will probably take the paper and turn it into a video so that it's up on our channel for you guys to see it. But again, all that stuff will come out.
Yes. We're not keeping anything a secret. You will see it. Yeah. And final comments. We have 18 people watching.
Wow.
That's not bad. Final comments. Icon. Someone needs to clip that out of context. I want all of your money. Yes. Yes, they do. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. This was wonderful and brief.
And maybe we'll come back on and do another quick live stream after Megan, maybe Saturday morning or something. Yep. I don't know when Megan...
We're here through till Sunday, so I'm sure there will be at least one more brief live stream before we head home.
Maybe like a post paper.
A debriefing.
A debriefing.
Like a press conference after a football game.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. I'll get some...
We played good football. We scored more footballs than the other team.
Thank you, Mr. Madden. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching, and email any questions to us or comments. I'd love to see them. But until next time, resist poor scholarship. Always ask,
how do you know that?
Good night.